So I would like to welcome you to the Ministry of Energy and Mines. The Ministry of Energy and Mines is in charge of many areas. First, hydrocarbons, which means exploration, production, transport, marketing, petrochemicals, LNG, refineries, also foreign operations in hydrocarbons. And we have national oil company, Sonatrach, and we have many foreign companies from all over the world. That's in hydrocarbons. Then the ministry is in charge of electricity and gas, which means all electricity and gas distributed in Algeria. We have a national electricity and gas company called Sonelgaz, which is in charge of producing electricity, of distributing electricity, and it has many companies. It has producing companies, it has transportation companies, and it has distribution companies. And we have also private companies that produce electricity in Algeria. Okay? Then we are in charge of desalination, water desalination. So we have now 12 projects to produce water from the sea. We already have 3 projects on production. We have one plant here in Algiers, it's called Hamma, with 200,000 met cubes per day. And we are building the largest water desalination plant in the West of 500,000 met cubes per day. So it's our ministry who is in charge, although we have another ministry which is water resources, but they are in charge of all that's the dams and water distribution in the cities. Our ministry also is in charge of nuclear energy. Okay, so we have 2 research reactors, and we have commissariat, which we call Commissariat of Atomic Energy, which is under the purview of the Ministry of Energy. And finally, we have the mines, the mining. In mining, we have many state companies in charge of phosphates, of iron, of lead, of zinc. And we also have many private companies, Chinese, Australian, other companies that work with us, producing gold, producing uranium, producing many products. Algeria has lots of resources, natural resources in mining. But also we have many small companies producing stones for construction, producing cement, so we are in charge of all of these areas. And to do that, we have organization in the ministry here at this building where all directions are located, which means people in charge of policy, in charge of regulating and controlling are in this building. Then the other building we call agencies, regulating agency. So we have 5 regulating agencies in the other buildings. Those regulating agencies are independent agencies. We have 2 in hydrocarbons for oil and gas, 1 for the permits, for awarding permits, and they do that through bidding, always bidding. The law requires bidding. And then a second agency controlling the health, environment, and safety. One is called ANAFT, and one is called ARH, Hydrocarbon Regulatory Authority. Then we have two agencies for mining, the same, one for permits through bidding. They do bidding every 3 months. And then one for controlling the operations, for health, for technical, for environment. And then we have one agency for electricity and gas, for regulatory agency called CREG, Electricity and Gas Regulatory Commission. And that one is in charge of planning gas demand in Algeria, planning gas electricity demand, controlling the health, safety, environment, and also the tariff, electricity tariff. Algeria is 98% electricity covered. Algeria also has particularity of having 43% penetration of natural gas in Algeria, which is unique in the world. There is no other country in the world that distributes gas at 43%. Almost everybody has natural gas, or almost everybody has natural gas and bottled gas. Okay? The distribution of petroleum products that you see, the stations, they are private and they are also state-owned by the National Oil Company. It's not really the National Oil Company, Sonatrach, it's a subsidiary called Naftal. But most of the stations are privately owned. They are private distributors. What else I can tell you about the sector? Sonatrach is a group of company. Sonatrach itself has 50,000 workers. 50,000, 50,000. It has more than 30 subsidiaries. Subsidiaries in drilling, it has 2. It has subsidiaries in seismic, it has 1. It has subsidiaries for construction. It has also subsidiaries in construction of refineries and so forth. It has also subsidiaries overseas, outside Algeria. It has trading company in London, and it has also operations in other countries, like in Peru. We produce oil and gas in Peru. We do exploration in Mauritania, in Libya, in Egypt, in Niger, and so forth. Now, Sonatrach is the 12th largest oil company in the world. It has revenues last year was $76 billion. So it's a big company. It has also, the subsidiaries have more than 70,000 people working, which means total between Sonatrach and subsidiaries, 120,000 people work in oil and gas exploration, production, transport, petrochemicals, and so forth. Sonelgaz has the electricity and gas company, has also more than 30 subsidiaries. It has subsidiaries in production. It has subsidiary in production of electricity. It has transport of gas, of electricity. It has 4 distribution companies, but it has also many subsidiaries for example, transport of big equipment. It has subsidiaries for building pipelines for distribution. It has subsidiaries for building cables, electrical cables. And the total workers is about 30,000 people who work in Sonelgaz and subsidiaries. So basically you have about 150,000 working in electricity, gas, and oil. And then if you add the mining, you get about 170,000 people work in our sector. Our sector provides 98% of the hard currency for the country, okay? And probably more than 60% of the budget. So I guess now we can, you know, be ready. Now I gave you this. I'm ready to answer your questions if you have any questions.
My name is I'm representing.
Now we're exporting 62 billion met cubes per year of gas, most of it to Europe. We are planning to increase it to 85 billion. Okay. How do we increase it? We increase it through the existing capacity, because we have many fields that have existing capacity. For example, the field of Hasirmal, we are recycling 40 billion, which means we don't send 40 billion, you know, we recycle it, we put it back in the field. We call it recycling. So what you do in a field, you produce 100, for example, 100, you send 60, and you recycle 40. You put back 40. So we have that capacity, and we have many fields having extra capacity, okay? So that's one. Second, we have the field of Gasitwil, Rurnus, which was supposed to be developed by Spanish companies. So that's the one also is being developed. Then we have many fields, and this one is developed by Sonatrach now. And then we have many fields that have been discovered in the southwest of Algeria with foreign companies. For example, Statoil, Gaz de France, Total, Repsol, others, I forgot the names. So many have made discoveries. So it's a new province called the Southwest Province, okay, of Algeria. And we are already building a pipeline, new pipeline, coming from that region, southwest of Algeria. So the supply, the new supply, will come basically from fields discovered with our partners and fields by Sonatrach. How do we get this gas out? We have the met gas to Spain, which is finished, and we start sending 8 billion met cubes per year at the end of this year. Okay. And then we have 2 LNG plants, which are under construction, one in the west, one in the east. Each one will produce something like 6 billion. We have then the new Galsi pipeline, the pipeline that goes directly to Sardinia and to Italy. And that one will take 8 billion. And then we have the existing pipeline between Algeria and Italy through Tunisia, okay? So that one we already increased capacity by 7. So if you add 7 plus 8 plus 8 plus 12, you exceed the, you know, the 85. So that's how we're gonna do it.
So 85 billion cubic meters to what year?
85 billion, we should be doing it by 2012. Well, we don't reduce internal use. Right now we are consuming 25 billion met cubes per year. By 2018, we have the report. We can give you the report because it's public. You know, everything in Algeria is transparent and it's public. So we have a report that shows how consumption in Algeria will increase. So we're going to be consuming something between 50 and 60 billion met cubes per year in 2018. So in our export, we give priority to internal consumption. So we have the capacity, we will have the capacity to export the 85 and to satisfy the local consumption. Not only that, we're going to increase gas penetration. Right now it's, like I said, 43%, the gas penetration, which means, you know, 43%, which means one consumer over two has both electricity and natural gas today. And in 3 years, we will have 57% penetration, which is probably higher than anyone knows. So not only consumption increase, penetration increase, because gas is very high demand in local communities. Even small villages have natural gas in Algeria, because small villages are in, you know, high mountains, very cold. They have snow. Maybe you don't think about Algeria having snow, but we have snow. We have snow 60 kilometers south of Algiers. Okay, so we have mountains that arrive to 3,000 meters, 4,000 meters. So it's very cold, and people don't like to transport bottled gas, because we have bottled gas all over. But you know, when the roads are blocked, you know, they prefer to have natural gas. You have pipeline gets to heat and to cook mainly, you know, with natural gas. Of course, all of them have electricity. So there's no problem. Algeria is a big country. It's the